up on Mountain News this morning, a new Kentucky-based all-natural dog biscuit company is hoping to change lives.
And students at one Floyd County school are changing the way they view the world and the people in it.
Plus, you have heard of Black Friday, but have you heard of Brown Friday? It's also the day after Thanksgiving, and it's a busy day for plumbers, but not for the reasons the name suggests.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:02. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Madison Pergram.
Thank you for tuning into Mountain News This Morning on this Tuesday. In Madison, as people head out the door, it's much like yesterday morning, foggy.
Foggy, but they have something to look forward to. Some kids going to school, riding the bus. This is the last day of the week to do that.
Yeah, it's a good day if you're a kid. If you're an adult like the rest of us and just a kid at heart, bad news for you. It's foggy, so you better get up and get to work. Let's bring in Brandon. He's got a little bit less fog on his brain than he did yesterday. But
a little bit.
Just a little bit. But Brandon, it should be a pretty nice day, and that might be the last nice day of the week, though.
Yeah, I think we're going to go back and forth for a little bit. Temperatures will be warm today and tomorrow, but as we take a look across the region, we're already seeing some fog, as we mentioned, and we're also seeing a few clouds down south. Those will start to increase today ahead of our next system. Some fog problems in Harlan and Jacksboro, at least what's showing up on the sensors. There's a lot of fog across a lot of the region, so just be careful. Temperatures are all over the board this morning. 28 in Jonesville, 43 in Jackson, 41 Somerset, 31 in London, 31 in Hazard, but 40 just up the road in Pikeville. So a big swing this morning. A little extra on the coffee meter just because it's a little bit cool in some spots. Some spots down, especially down south, we'll need that max warming there. 63 though later today, 20% chance of a scattered shower late this afternoon going into the evening hours, and then we'll see those clouds increase after some morning sun later today. We'll talk about the rest of that forecast and some headlines ahead coming up here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, some students at Floyd Central High School, home of the Jaguars, are not only learning basic math, science, reading, and English.
One group of students is learning about other cultures, races, and religions. I sat in on one class where students are working with peers from the Bronx and New York. It might look like students walking into room 129 at Floyd Central are about to start just another class.
It's really eye-opening. It's a lot of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and being willing to try new things, being willing to expose yourself to things that you may have never known about before.
But in this classroom, they dig deeper.
I think that it just opens your eyes to see that there's a lot more possible in the world than what you thought.
Learning about kids their age nearly 700 miles away in the Bronx, New York.
It really teaches our young people to embrace what makes them unique, but also not build a tower about what makes you unique. Let's make a bridge.
Doing that this time through Empathy Eats, sharing recipes and cooking each other's favorite Thanksgiving meals through what they call the portal.
I made candy cracker, that's what it's called.
I made Fatima salsa, it is very good.
Coming from very different walks of life.
Dream bigger, because like I said, if you would have asked me what a senior high school student in Floyd County, Kentucky could do 3 years ago, it would have been a whole lot less than what I think I can do now.
But learning that they have more in common than not.
Honoring who you are, but also honoring who other people are. That's free.
Trying to change people's perspectives of the world and those in it. Now, the Floyd Central class went to visit the Bronx in October, and the kids at University Heights High School in the Bronx plans on coming to visit Floyd County in the spring to expand their learning experience.
Well, we have an update this morning to a story we've been following out of Laurel County. A worksheet in a first grade textbook that asks students to identify what fat is by circling a picture of one of two girls has been removed. A student's mother took her concerns that the lesson was encouraging fat shaming to social media. Yesterday, the school system said it is removing the page from the workbook and will express the parents' concerns to the textbook maker, McGraw-Hill.
And in West Virginia, Logan Regional Medical Center held a grand reopening of their pediatric unit on Monday, giving everyone a chance to tour the improved facility. Essentially, the center has been transformed into a kid-friendly zone. Each room of the pediatric center features favorite Disney characters from films like Toy Story and Finding Nemo. They even have a wagon to give the kids a ride, and the celebration is to show appreciation both for the community support and the staff that worked hard on the unit's new look.
Loving the participation of the employees here. We have a lot that's participating in this and putting putting everything that they possibly can in here and helping us to make it a success. So I'm very proud of them.
Children and parents in the unit will now be able to play games and do arts and crafts as well. Director Janet Sexton says it's important to stay entertained during a potentially stressful stay.
A new Louisville-based all-natural dog biscuit company is helping to change some lives. Wiggle Wow launched in August and provides jobs for adults with disabilities. The company's founder, Mark Pfeiffer, says he has hired 4 adults so far, along with a parent to work with them. They both make $8.50 per hour. Wiggle Wow's first hired employee, Dante, struggled to find a job for years. His mom says she's grateful for the opportunity that's been given to her son.
On his first day, he was so excited. He was just so excited, really excited. I'm excited too because I get to come along with him, and watch him work.
Each special needs adult hired is called an Epic Chef. They help cut dough, stamp it out with a WOW logo, and bake the dog treats before packaging them to sell. Pfeiffer hopes that 10 years from now, Wiggle Wow will be the largest employer in America for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
And with Thanksgiving only 2 days away, many people will begin traveling to see family and friends.
AAA suggests if you are hitting the road before Thanksgiving, yesterday would have been ideal. But if you are still at home, the next best time to set out is actually Thursday.
WYMT's Katie Cook went to London and talked to some travelers.
Before you buckle up and put your car in drive, remember, you will be on the road with about 50 million other people.
Definitely just be more aware of the drivers around you.
Some people already began their travels. What is your favorite part about Thanksgiving?
To be with family.
Aside from a bit of construction, people are saying the roads aren't too bad.
There's not much traffic today.
I think they were pretty easy going.
But AAA says it will be a different story closer to Thanksgiving.
It's going to be pretty hectic with the holiday weekend and all that.
The amount of cars expected to be on the road this Thanksgiving week is the second highest amount since 2000.
Be safe and don't be on your phones and just be careful.
So no matter where you're coming from,
we left Michigan on the 7th.
Or where you're going.
My husband and I and our daughter, we're going to be going to Cincinnati, Ohio.
Be aware of those around you. Looking forward to seeing their family for the holiday.
Now, AAA predicts around 368,000 people will run into car trouble this week.
Well, for those keeping a close eye on their gas prices, we have mapped out what you can expect here in eastern Kentucky. You will notice close to I-75 and in Letcher County, gas is lower than the rest of the mountains. You will find the lowest average in the state in Bell County, where gas there is about $2.17 a gallon.
Well, you have heard of Black Friday, but have you heard of Brown Friday? It is also the day after Thanksgiving, and it's a busy day for plumbers. The name of Brown Friday might be a little misleading because most of the causes start at the kitchen sink. It depends on how you prepare your food and how you clean up. What you do or don't do could be the reason why you call a plumber.
Of what you're putting into a kitchen sink or a garbage disposal. Anything starchy, such as potatoes or noodles, rices, those will usually get through the garbage disposal but cause problems down the line. They become a soft material that they just want to kind of sit in the line and build up. And it's very hard to get it out of the line too because it's so soft. When you go to try to snake it out with a cable, the cable just wants to push through it without actually moving it.
Well, it's better to play it safe and throw food scraps in the trash, and maybe your local plumber can have an easier day.
Well, it takes 7 years to grow an average-sized 7-foot Christmas tree. The farmers say extreme weather changes this year will cause a problem for those that raise them for years to come.
WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talks to farmers in Whitley County that went from an average of getting 500 trees to nearly half of that.
Here in the mountains, the best part of working outdoors for some is the colors and scenery later in the year.
This year it just didn't happen like that because of the dryness and everything. It was like they were green one week and we looked around, they were brown.
While the Williamsburg Christmas tree went up in Bill Woods Park, it is a sight that many might not see much of this year.
It was the rainy weather in June and July. It caused a fungus to come over North Carolina and Virginia.
Then the summer drought hit, lasting for weeks, and the struggles did not end with the trees that died. Those that survived failed to grow.
The farm that we've got ours off from for years, they lost just on the one farm over 10,000.
They were not alone.
A friend of ours, they got a Christmas tree farm down in Tennessee, and what few trees they could get, it really wasn't worth opening up for.
Which means there were an estimated hundreds of thousands of trees that died across the tri-state area. And the issue could be felt.
There'll be 2 or 3 years that some of those farms will not have a tree to sell. It's just like they're starting all back brand new, fresh over.
For years to come. In Whitley County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Sally Gap will start selling trees at their farm on Kentucky Highway 92 in Whitley County on Friday.
Visibility pretty rough this morning across the region. We take a look at the visibility map and you can see limited visibility in Harlan down toward Jacksboro, but it's around a bunch of the region this morning, so just be careful. Temperatures wide swing from the 20s to the 40s depending on where you are right now, so bundle up because it is still chilly. A few degrees warmer in some spots than yesterday, a few degrees cooler in some spots than yesterday, and right at where it was yesterday in a couple of spots. Your 12-hour planner for today, we are going to get into the low 60s this afternoon, but the clouds will gradually increase throughout the day and some scattered chances for rain will come along later. But what's after that? Well, we'll see the rain chances increase as we head into the overnight hours, and by Thanksgiving things will be a little bit drier and colder. We'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning.
More news is on the way. In 2006, Tara Conner made national headlines when she won the title of Miss USA, which was later in jeopardy due to drug use. Now she's advocating for those battling addiction.